Hey YouTubers, it's your friendly neighborhood Captain Endman. How are you all doing today on this lovely day? Now, before I actually answer this question, you're probably asking me, wait, why will the rights to Marvel characters go back to Marvel? That doesn't make sense. Well, here's the thing. In the mid 90s, Marvel was almost bankrupt, so they sold out their rights to like their most popular characters to other studios. So let's say Fox got Fantastic Four, X-Men, Deadpool, Logan, all that stuff, while Sony got Spider-Man, other studios got Ghost Rider or Daredevil. But here's how the deal works. Every few years, so let's say it's like X number of years, a movie has to be in production. If it's not, then the rights go back to Marvel. That's why after Spider-Man 3, Sony were forced to make Amazing Spider-Man movie because otherwise the rights would go back to Marvel. Because of Marvel's stellar track record and their ability to turn anything into a giant money-making machine, many fans have wished that all the rights, all the Marvel characters go back to Marvel Studios. I mean, I totally get why they think that. Marvel Studios has made 15 films, and with the 16th one opening this weekend, Spider-Man Homecoming. And the combined box office total of all these films is $11.7 billion. That's an average of around 784 million per movie. That is great. Not only have they been financially successful, but critically as well, with all the films being rated fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. In fact, in the franchise, Thor the Dark World is the movie with the lowest rating of 66% on Rotten Tomatoes, and even most critics agree that it's a really fun movie. Now let's look at Fox Studios, who owns Fantastic Four and the X-Men movies. Fox has made 13 films with over 6 of them being rated rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. 6 of them, so close to half. Sony, who owns the rights to Spider-Man, gave us 5 movies with 2 of them that sucked, Spider-Man 3 and Amazing Spider-Man 2. Surprisingly, only Amazing Spider-Man 2 is run on Rotten Tomatoes. Very surprised by that. Even though the X-Men movies and the Spidey franchise has done really well financially, none of them, none of them have joined the billion-dollar clubs, unlike Marvel Studios who's done it 4 times now. So by now you're probably wondering, this should be a no-brainer, like Marvel should get all the rights back because they know how to make good movies that can also be financially successful. However, my answer might actually surprise you. I think that all the rights should not go back to Marvel. Yes, you heard me right. I don't think they should go back to Marvel, for many reasons actually. The first reason is, if many studios own the rights to these characters, we get very different types of movies, so it doesn't become stale. Look at Logan. It's a Western movie. Look at Deadpool. It's a comedy. Look at X-Men Days of Future Past. It's a sci-fi. Look at X-Men First Class. Look at the X-Men movies. They're very different from the Marvel movies. Hell, look at the Sony movies, the Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man 2 is a more realistic take. It's very grounded. Spider-Man, look at the Amazing Spider-Man films. They're very different from the Marvel movies. And that is what keeps them fresh. That is why we go to the theaters to see these movies because we want to be entertained, but we also want to see different kinds of stories. And we get it if more studios own the rights to these characters. The second reason is if Marvel owned all the rights to these characters, we would never have gotten Logan or Deadpool, these amazing R-rated movies. Now, I'm not saying that a movie needs to be R-rated to be good. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that the characters like Deadpool and Wolverine, they're more hardcore, like they're more R-rated characters and they need an R rating. The third reason is we just get more movies if more studios own the rights to these characters because Marvel can only do so much. Because we can't get 5, 6 movies a year from Marvel Studios. That's just not possible. It's like literally impossible. That's why if more studios own the rights to these characters, we get more movies. We get Logan. We like this year we got in Logan, Wonder Woman, Spider-Man, Guardians, Thor Ragnarok, Justice League. Next year we're getting these 3 X-Men movies. We're getting 3 MCU movies, a few Sony movies, a few DC movies. We get more movies, and that is awesome for us comic book fans. And the last reason is, if all the rights do go back to Marvel, Marvel might have the tendency to put all the characters in the same cinematic universe, and that just makes it way too overcrowded if the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Spider-Man, Deadpool, Avengers, all these characters are in the same universe. It just becomes way too overcrowded and just too bloated. That's why I don't want to see these characters in the MCU. Now, let's say Marvel do get the rights back. Obviously, I'm gonna have a lot of confidence in them because they've made all these great movies so far, so they clearly have the track record. However, Fox themselves have also made some great X-Men movies. The first two X-Men movies, Days of Future Past, First Class, Deadpool, Logan, these great movies. Sony has given us some great movies in Spider-Man 1 and 2, and now Spider-Man Homecoming. So clearly these studios know how to make great movies and they've given it to us time and time again. However, with that being said, the rights to Fantastic Four should go back to Marvel. I think it's time that they do go back to Marvel. Fox has tried 3 times, they have failed 3 times. I think it's time the rights have to go back to Marvel because Marvel can make a good movie out of Fantastic Four, which Fox has not been able to do, unlike what they've been able to do with their X Men movies or Deadpool movies. So, guys, that is my quick thought on why I think the rights should not go back to Marvel. I think we just get more kinds of movies, different kinds of movies, and more movies in general. So, please like, please subscribe, and stay spicy.